I said I would post a video on how I make my beef jerky. Haven't really pieced together video before, but I'm going to be building this video over the course of today and tomorrow. So I'm going to show you the steps, and then you'll know how I make my beef jerky. You're going to want to start off with up to 3 pounds of thinly sliced bottom round. You can use top round, you can use flank. I like to use bottom round. It's got good marbling and it really soaks up the flavor well. Along with that, you're going to need half a cup of Worcestershire sauce and half a cup of soy sauce. I use lower sodium soy sauce because I like to control my salt in the jerky. I also have a tablespoon of paprika, a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder. Notice I'm not using the salt version of these spices, but the powdered. I then have a teaspoon of coarse ground sea salt and a teaspoon of black pepper. And then to add sweetness to my jerky, I have a 1/4 cup of honey. Add all of the ingredients into a bowl. You do not want to use a metal bowl, but you can use ceramic, you can use glass, and you can use plastic for this. Mix well until everything's combined and it's homogeneous. Making sure to scrape down the sides is necessary to get the spices back into your marinade. Keep in mind, this is what's going to pull the moisture out of the meat and also add the flavor. Now it's time to add your meat. I like to take the slices individually and dip them in because sometimes the meat can fold up, and when that happens you get gaps where you don't have any flavor. And I like to put them in one slice at a time. It takes a little bit longer to do it this way, but you're going to have an overall better product when you're done. I'm going to finish this. Then you cover it, put it in the fridge, and you can marinate it anywhere from 4 hours to 24 hours. I'm going to marinate mine until tomorrow, and then I will get back to you and finish this video. After you have all the meat coated, you want to cover them in the bowl and stick it in the refrigerator. Okay, so I couldn't wait until tomorrow to do this, so I'm going to go ahead and start making beef jerky now. It's been marinating since, I want to say 5:30 this morning. It is now 11:55. So 6.5 hours. It's a good marinade for this jerky. So I only have 2 cooling racks, but the cooling rack should fit on top of some cookie sheets, or I find that brownie pans work better because it allows for more circulation of air through the beef. You just sort of lay it out, try to get as much on there. They can be almost touching, but you need to really allow for air to get around them, so you don't want to overlap. And then you just fill up your pan as best as you can with as much as you can. Usually I get about 3 strips on here, but there's some smaller ones, so I was able to get 4. I'll do the same with the other pan here. And while you're doing this, you can preheat your oven. I have my oven set to 170 and it's preheating right now. Now, I'm going to be drying this out in the oven for roughly 2 hours. I want to flip it midway. Finding another small piece here is going to be difficult. Here we go. This is another smaller piece. Let's get that in there. Alright, so I'm able to do 4 in each tray, which is a little bit more than what I usually get on there. Rinsing this off of my hands. So in 2 hours, I'll come back and I'll show you where I'm at. When your oven is preheated, and I'll admit mine's still getting there, you can then go ahead and put your beef jerky in. I like to put it on the second rack because of the thickness of the pans. It keeps it up closer to the top and away from the heat source. And you just stick them in. And then you don't want to close the door all the way. You want to let the moisture out and the air to circulate. So I usually take just a wooden spoon, stick that right in there like that. That'll allow moisture to escape and the air to circulate inside the oven. And the oven just preheated, as you could tell. I'll be back when I'm flipping it. We're about midway through the drying process, so I'm going to go ahead and check on the jerky. As you can see, it's starting to change color and it's drying out. I'm going to test to see how dry it is. It's about ready to flip. So I'm flipping the jerky because that's going to help it dry out on both sides evenly. I do this midway through the process, which is where we're at now. And it's okay to do this with your hands. It's not hot. You just want to make sure that you don't touch any heating elements inside the oven. As far as the jerky goes, you won't burn yourself. Won't really burn yourself on the pans either. 170 isn't really that hot. It's about a good hot bath water. So that's about halfway through the drying process. I'll continue the video when I pull it out. Alright, the jerky's been in for about an hour and 40, hour and 50 minutes. I'm going to check on it again, see if it is nearing completion. I'm also going to get a paper plate out, something to stick them on if they are dry. Some pieces will be done quicker than others, so I might not pull all of the jerky out, but I'm pretty sure some of it's ready. Okay, let's take a look here. This piece is definitely done. So is this one. Some of the thinner pieces are going to be ready before some of the fatter ones. This guy's done. This one's ready. Let's see. So I'll flip the rest of these over again. Give them a little bit more time. Computer, cancel timer.
1 hour timer.
Computer, set 20-minute timer.
20 minutes, starting now.
I'm going to turn the camera here. Be 1 second. When the jerky comes out and it's ready, it's going to be in large pieces like this. And what I like to do is I like to cut them down into bite-sized pieces. Makes them a little bit easier to eat. Just take your kitchen scissors and cut them down into bits. And because drying beef is a method of preservation, you don't have to refrigerate it, and it will be shelf stable for, I would say, at least a couple of weeks. Some people say up to a month. I don't think it'll last that long personally. I'm going to eat it before then. This stuff is going to be gone by this weekend. But that is how you make my beef jerky. I'm going to finish cutting this, and I hope you enjoyed my video.